चेयर चाहिए। See the points here. Have you gone through? Paragraph change, points. Got an idea? These chapters are not in your syllabus, so you will not hear this. Not understand. So only देखो इतना लिखना है. उसके बाद ही you will get 5 marks. See, pointers they did in the problems, जो भी है. So this much you have to write. थोड़ा लिख के शुरू करके you will not get full marks. Next year you will have analytical paragraph. So we'll see to get full marks how much the child has done. और literature में देखो answers are so big. This is 3 marks concept. इतना लिख 3 marks का है. And this is 6 months. All the points should be written, not very big, but respectively, points of 4. These are all same. This is also 4 months, 3 months. So these are the things I have noted down. All for everything accumulated, I mean together. So if you read these notes, you don't have to open a volume or anything. Google will say that you can search करके underline correct करके and share with. I have written down whatever I have given, shared with the answer. However, you wish to give and tell him to get printouts or half you take printout वाला, half give to him and half you the rest you photocopy and the rest मतलब आधा हो जाएगा वो, ठीक है? So one of you should not be मतलब एक should not be penalized. दोनों पे बराबर का होना चाहिए. देखो, these are the he wrote, this is 6 months, ठीक है? Very seeing and only the gives to be here. So ये question है, and he wrote like this, and this is what the examiner wrote. Appropriately graded thoughts, the thoughts appropriately graded. क्यों उसको मिला good marks? और इसमें लिया good understanding of the story. See so much. It's not about the quality, but it's about the quality. And changed life. I would be. It's to be a good understanding of the idea of the lesson. This much. And this well woven thoughts and the thoughts. So now you have got an idea. Next time, if you are not here, you know how much you have to write for a 6 months session. How much you have to write for a this is all 6 months question. See, if you have more and more points, if you want to write, you can exceed word limit. It's not that important. So, एक word limit अगर teacher को पसंद नहीं आया ना, they will take the other. Marks will not take. If you are writing 4, writing 4, and 3 are acceptable, and if you are writing 6, so 4 are acceptable, you will get 4 marks. Therefore, see for question number 10-1, how big he wrote, but he was not penalized for this. Okay. These are 2 marks. How big he wrote? See 9-1. This is actually 2 or 3 marks question. How big he wrote? But because he wrote all the points he knew, so that he will get full marks. Okay. You want to see more? Next year you buy this book, you will get a figure. Mostly whatever I had, notes, I have given you everything. Only 1 chapter is left, 1 chapter thoda आधा है, और 1 chapter full is left. Will complete, and then comprehension. I told you how to write. First, what you have for comprehension? First, read what?
What is comprehension?
Comprehension. First one. Reading section.
What's that? Same passage. Yeah.
Same passage. That's for comprehension.
Okay.
First, you have to write. Do what?
First, we have to read the questions and then read the passage.
Then the passage. So last yesterday, what we were doing? Last class. 5, right? You understood the story in the beginning? Someone wanted to take his identity.
No, this is not the last class. We have 2 more lessons in the movement.
No, 1 more lesson.
No, 2. A house is not home is not done. And the weathering the storm and as some is also not. A house is not a home is not done.
That we will do today.
And the weathering the storm and some is also.
That's not very good. Syllabus
There
में
in
नहीं
the
है.
book so.
वो syllabus में नहीं है. If I read you the
Yes.
completed this. I have the paper is given to you. If you want, you can copy on it. I don't know if I have to see this. Currently completed.
Page number 114.
Be higher.
Yes. From 11th here. On P and page 114.
114.
Yes. 14.
It's my book. Tell me the line. Line from the text. Line from the text.
11th line. Careful pause and watching.
Who is telling this?
Intruder.
Towards the end, है क्या?
Yes. Second last line.
Second last page.
Second last line on the second last page of the chapter. Actually,
Careful, boss. I'm watching you. Yes. So, careful, boss. I'm watching you. So, a man came to kill Gerard and take his identity because he was wanted.
if I were you, it's not true. If I were you, it's not this.
If I were you, I believe all are not there. The ones that I taught from here are there. If I were you, I guess it was not there. I taught from you. All is not there. Whatever I have, I give you. Anyway, you have the volume. No?
Yes.
Gerard, I have got a man posted on the main road. He will ring up if he sees the police, but I don't want to leave. Telephone bell rings. Come on, they're after us. Through here, straight to the garage. So, Gerard uh, uh, tells that even he is wanted. So if he goes out, so anyway, the police will come and arrest him with that. The other man will also be get arrested. So he says, come, let's go and hide in the garage. Because the police is already there, intruder. How do I know that you are telling the truth, Gerard? Oh, don't be a fool. Look for yourself. Gerard opens door and steps away. The intruder leans forward to inspect it with the side towards Gerard, but with the revolver ready. As he turns his head, Gerard gives him a push into the cupboard, knocking the revolver out of his hand. He slams the door and locks it, picks up the revolver and goes to the phone, where he stands with the gun pointed at the cupboard door. The intruder rattles door and shouts, "Let me out of here, Gerard. Hello. Yes, speaking. Sorry, I can't let you have the props in time for yourself. I have had a spot of bother. Quite amusing. I think I'll put it in my next play. Listen, can you tell our friend, the surgeon, to come up here at once? You will probably find him in the public bar." So he says towards the end. So he says before that, how do I know that you are telling the truth, that the police is behind you? The intruder doubted Gerard's word. Gerard said, "Oh, don't be a fool. Look for yourself." Gerard opens door. "Jao jaake dekho. Apne aap dekho. Police hai bahar." Gerard opens door and steps away. Intruder leans forward to inspect it. With his side towards Gerard, but with the revolver ready. As he turns his head, Gerard gives him a push into the cupboard. So he opened the cupboard door. And bola jao jaake dekho. Knocking the revolver out of his hand, he slams the door and locks it up. He picks up the revolver and goes to the phone. So here, Gerard said that the intruder should not be foolish. He asked him to see for himself. He opened the door and stepped to one side so that the intruder could see outside. The intruder leaned forward with the gun still pointed towards Gerard. As he turned his head, Gerard pushed him into the cupboard and the gun fell off the intruder's hand. The door was not of the garage, but it was a cupboard door. Cupboard door खोला था. As Gerard pushed the intruder inside the cupboard, he closed the door and locked it. He picked up the revolver and walked towards the door. The gun pointed towards the cupboard in case the intruder tried to escape. So, Gerard's, hello, yes, speaking. So, talking on the phone, on someone. Sorry, I can't let you have the props in time. So, that shows that he was he was an actor at the props with him. In time for rehearsal, I have had a spot of bother, quite amusing. Something was bothering me, it was very amusing. I think I will put it in my next play. I think in my next play, I'll write about this. Listen, can you tell a friend, the surgeon, to come up here at once? They have a friend, a surgeon police. You will probably find him in the public world. So surgeon ko bulaya, police ko bulaya, and then it shows that he is actually an actor. Things used by actors to change appearance. Who enters Gerard's cottage? An intruder enters Gerard's cottage. How did the intruder enter Gerard's cottage? He wanted to kill. Why? He wanted to kill Gerard and disguise himself as Gerard. Full ये लिखना है. How did Gerard tell the intruder about his childhood? Gerard told the intruder that in childhood he was stolen by the gypsies. We studied this?
Yes.
Christian name. This is the small answer. This you can do. Short answer. That here's 3 marks. Describe Gerard's appearance. Gerard is a man of medium height. Important point. Wears horn ring glasses. When the play opens, he is dressed in a lounge suit. So these all are there in the paper. So you can go through from there. But answer exactly the way it's written over here. Exactly the way nahi. Exactly the points that they have used. I gave this to you, right? So और कुछ बोलना जरूरी है इसका? They cannot hang me twice. Who says this and why? Very important question. The intruder says this because he's already wanted for having murdered a cop. So you have to know how he did it. वो भी है ना, Rachel, how he committed the first crime. If he manages to kill Gerard as per his plan, the punishment for this murder too, like the first one, will be a death sentence. Hence, he cannot be hanged twice by the police. 2 murder, same punishment. He cannot be hanged twice. And then you have to study how he committed the first crime and how he was about to commit the second crime. So this is what value-based question में क्या है? Gerard talks pleasantly with the intruder. Was he really pleased to see the criminal? What do you think? Because being an actor, he was actually acting. He knows the trick how to hide emotion or hide fear. This you can mention. Gerard is living alone in his house, and then they started with the story. What happened? That's what I said. The question asked, what happened before, the answer, and what are the consequences. So here it is. He's a clever man. He understood that a criminal has evil intention. He knows that if he fights with the intruder, he will be killed. He knows that. And being an actor, he also knows how to hide his fear. But he was actually fearful. ऐसा नहीं है. A man with a gun, all of a sudden, no one. So his best chance to talk is to talk with the intruder in a friendly manner. Even the intruder notes it and says that Gerard is trying to be calm and careless. By talking pleasantly, Gerard makes the intruder delay his plan to kill him. So Gerard tells him that he is pleased to see him. We know that this is a lie. He was not at all pleased. He was not really pleased to see the criminal. By engaging the intruder in talks, Gerard comes to know that he is not an intelligent man and it is not difficult to be him. Gerard's behavior shows that he is a sensible person. He knows how to behave in a crisis. He knows, and he mentioned all important point. Being an actor, he knows how to cover his fear, how to his profession. He knows his profession very well. So successfully, he could hide his fear. The intruder is boastful. He threatens Gerard. I will make you crawl. Was he able to carry out his threat? No. And then he was overpowered by the wisdom of Gerard. And how? This all you have to write. If अगर आप लिखोगे ना, it will show like the big answer that is written over here. And all the points should be taken from your book. Gerard says, in most melodramas, the villain is foolish enough to delay his killing long enough to be frustrated. Does this statement holds good for the play, IYU? In most melodramas, the villain is foolish enough to delay his killing long enough to be frustrated. Do you think it's true? Yes. Yeah, the same thing happened. How it happened? इतना बात करने की क्या जरूरत थी, आके काम करो खत्म हो जाओ, ये सब नहीं किया. Engaged. Because all these questions are there. You can study from them. Now we will go to what is
House is not.
a house is not a home. See, understanding the chapter is not important. Is important, but more than that, what is important is how you are writing answers, how you are using the keywords and phrases, how you are explaining them. So you know the story. You don't have to read the story again, but you have to read the question answers again and again. And by reading, you have to underline the main words, keywords that you have to use, or jot down the keywords. That's more important. Next, you will give mock test, right?
Yes.
So I don't want to see a small one liner. Even if it's a 3 marks question, you have to write all the points. I mean, house is not a home. I hope I have it. House is not a home, no? You know the story? House is not a home. It's a story. इधर देखो, we'll read from here. The story highlights the thin difference between a house and a home. A house and a home. A house, when you leave a house, if you are not feeling sad about that house, it's not your home. A home is a place where when you call your home and you are forced to leave, you are going to a hostel, you will miss your home, but you will not miss your house. That's the difference. The difference between a house and a home. While a house is a building where people live, a home specifically. A home is a place where a family lives together, sharing the unique bond of love and oneness. So your building is a home, your building is a house, and in that building, the your flat number is your home. The narrator's house gets destroyed by fire and he gets a new house. Then he realizes that his home is the one built by the love and affection of his family and loved ones. Love and affection for one's family are precious. The story revolves around Zan. He was sad as he got into a new high school. He did not have his old friends and was a junior there. He missed the old school and would visit it often. Why he had to change the school? It's over here. He had enjoyed being a senior there. In his school, he was a senior most. Maybe the school had was still grade 8, so he was in grade 8, so he was a senior most. But maybe in this school, it is starts from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he is the junior. He is junior. So being a senior, he used to enjoy in the previous school. Now he is sad. He missed the old school and would visit it often. He had enjoyed being a senior there. To add to his miseries, one Sunday afternoon, his house caught fire. Other than a few papers and photos of his father that were retrieved by his mother, they lost everything. Sam did not even have a pair of shoes. His pet cat was also missing. So Zan was in Western country. They graduate in grade 8 and then they graduate in grade 10th and 12th. I think 12. 8th में graduation होता है. So mostly schools are till 8 and then they go to the senior section, that's 9, 10, 11, 12. So he first thing was he was sad. House journey se pehle he was sad because he was moved. He had to shift to a new school where he was the junior most. And then one day, what happened to add to his bow? What happened? His house caught fire, and that was also missing. Zan got depressed and did not want to attend school. He realized that he could not soak up any sadness as they had to rebuild their life. They needed a new house, clothes, books, etc. They did not have any cash. Those were the days where you need cash. There was no GPay and all, credit card, nahi tha, cash, and sab jal gaya. Everything was gone. Credit cards or identity proofs and had to borrow money from his grandparents. One day at school, Zan was astonished to see a table full of things, books, stationery items, clothes, etc., which had been collected by his classmates. They were helping Zan. Zan was overwhelmed and made friends. He came out of the depression and realized that life was beautiful. Zan saw his house being rebuilt and felt that same was happening with his life too. House was being rebuilt and his life was also being rebuilt because now he's having new friends in the new school. A kind woman returned his cat, which had run away on being scared of the fire. Zan became full of life when he realized that life was not about material possessions, but about love, affection, and being with one's loved ones. This is the main idea of the story, that love is not about material possessions, but about love, affection, and being with one's loved one, near and dear ones. So, someone lost parents in tsunami is taken by another person who is very rich and giving him all the riches. Will he ever forget the love his parents used to shower on him? No, it's not possible. The possession, materialistic possession given to a child, the lost child you don't have. The lost child में वही है ना? He was asking for many things and then parents were refusing. Finally, when he was lost, and what happened? He was found by
a kind person.
Kind person was giving all the things that were refused by his parents before. But did he take them? What he wanted?
His parents.
Parents. So love so life was not about material possession. It is about love, affection, and being with one's loved ones. This is the key line of this chapter. My first year of how big is this? In moments?
point.
So you want me to read line by line? Is it necessary?
No.
No, you can say. Let me see. No, not really. Okay, see. My first year of high school felt awkward after leaving junior. So that's junior school. Junior high school at the head of my class with all the seniority the upper grade levels could afford me. So my first year of high school felt awkward. So he moved to high school now. After leaving junior, so same thing happens with you all. After 10th, you go to high school. So after leaving junior high at the head of my class with all the, so before that he was in junior high school. With all the seniority the upper grade levels could afford me, it felt strange starting over as a freshman. Freshman as they say freshman, first year. The school was twice as big as my old school, and it made matters worse. My closest friends were sent to a different high school. I felt very isolated. So my closest friends were sent to a different high school. So as far as I know, uh, the school authority chooses where the children will study according to the place where they stay. Suppose you are living in 8th Street or 7th Street. You have a house in 8th Street. So you cannot choose. You have to go to that school. That's a public school I'm talking about. So if you say, I want to go to a school that is in 2nd Street, you will not be allowed. So they will decide the nearest school for your city. So, and if you are in 7th Street and the 8th Street school, to go to 8th Street school, that's near your house, or you have to cross the main road, it's on the other side, then you cannot go to that school. You have to go to the school where you don't have to, even if it is in the 2nd Street, but you cannot cross the main road. समझ में है? And if the school is more than 1 kilometer away, then only you can take avail the school bus. Otherwise, within 1 kilometer limit, you cannot. Rasta cross करके नजदीक है, you cannot. So if the school is in 2nd Street and you don't have to cross the road, even if you have a school in the 8th Street, you cannot go there. Government will not allow because you have to cross the main road. There, children generally they go to school alone. There is no concept of parents dropping and all. Everybody is working. So this way they decide. So अंदर के रास्ते से जाके आप 2nd Street स्कूल में चले जाओ. But आप 7th Street में हो, 8th Street में एक स्कूल है, but that is you have to cross the main road. You will not be allowed. So that's why they have written. Others were put in different schools according to the houses they have in the streets. He was in a school, went to a school where he did not have his old friends. Freshman is first. The school was twice as big as my old school. And to make matters worse, my closest friends were sent to different high school. I felt very isolated. So freshman is a student in the first year of high school, college or university. Then what happened? School. I missed my old teachers so that I would go back. I missed my old teachers so much that I would go back and visit them. They would encourage me to get involved in school activities so that I could meet new people. They told me that in time I would adjust and probably end up loving my new school more than I loved my old school. They made me promise that when that happened, I would still come
by and visit them from time to time. I understood the psychology in what they were saying, but I took some comfort in it nonetheless. So the psychology is the teacher really wanted that he should come out of that sadness and be happy. That's why they said when you are activity, when you are involved in activity, how you feel happy, how you what happens if you join activities in school? Suppose you are lonely, feeling lonely. What will happen if you join activities?
If it is a group activity, then I will interact with other people.
Even if it's not a group activity, if you are playing, if you are on a running race, any type of activity, if they give you, or you are always making friends and you are always interacting with others, ना? जो भी activity करोगे, आप interact तो करते ही हो. It's not a hobby, it's an activity. So you make new friends. And you do not forget the old ones, but you don't feel depressed because you made new friends. They said that after some time he would adjust to the new surroundings and would love the new school more than the previous one. The teachers at the old school made him promise that he would visit them even when he got settled in the new school. The narrator tried to feel comfortable with these words of the teachers. One Sunday afternoon, not long after I had started high school, I was sitting at home at a dining room table doing homework. It was a cold and windy fall day, and we had a fire going on in the fireplace. So maybe it's somewhere in Europe, and it's cold. So they have a fireplace. Cold and windy fall. Who wrote this? Writer is not there. Okay. Cold and windy fall day. Fall day is
Autumn.
autumn.
Zan got also
Whoever. So autumn fall day. Fall is November. October, November.
no.
Yeah, if winter comes
Yes, it is not.
before the winter.
And September.
Yes. So windy fall day, and we had a fire going in our fireplace. As usual, my red tabby cat was lying on top of all my papers, purring loudly and occasionally sweating at my pen for entertainment's sake. So this one, purring or purring, what do you say? Sound made by a cat? Purring, purring, whatever. Purring भी हो सकता है. P-U, put. P-U-L, pull. So pulling. P-U-T, put. But beauty, but.
Purring because
Purring sounds better.
yes.
Purring, sweating to hit something. Top of all my papers, purring loudly and occasionally sweating to hit something, sweating at my pen for entertainment. Pause से कर रहा है. This cat. Hitting on his pen just for amusement. She was never far from me. I had rescued her when she was a kitten, and somehow she knew that I was the one responsible for giving her the good life. My mother kept stalking the fire to keep the house nice and warm. Stalking with what? Feeding and tending the fire. Feeding with what?
Maybe. Oh,
Coal, sticks, dry sticks, wood, whatever, anything. So to keep the house nice and warm. Suddenly I smelled something strange and then I noticed it. smoke pouring in through the seams of the ceiling. Seams of the ceiling, this one. The smoke began to fill the room so quickly that we could barely see. Groping our way to the front door, we all ran out into the frontier. By the time we made our way outside, the whole roof was engulfed in flames and it was spreading quickly. I ran to the neighbors to call the fire department while I watched my mother run back into the house. Why she ran back? My mother then ran out of the house carrying a small metal box full of important documents. She dropped the case on the lawn and, in a crazed state, ran back into the house. I knew what she was after. My father had died when I was young, and I was certain that she was not going to let his pictures and letters go up in flames. So went for the second time, first time to bring important papers, second time to bring father's picture and letters. The memories of his father. So I ran to the neighbors to call They were the only things that she had to remember him by. Still, I screamed at her, Mom, no. That were the only things. Mobile to nahi tha. Only things that she had as her husband's memory. I was about to run after her when I felt a large hand pull me back. It was a fireman. I hadn't even noticed that the street had already filled with fire trucks. I was trying to free myself from his grasp, yelling, You don't understand, my mother's there. It's all right, they will get her, he said. Who will get her?
The fireman.
He wrapped a blanket around me and sat me down in our car. Soon after that, a fireman emerged from our house with my mom in tow. He quickly took her over to the truck and put an oxygen mask on her because the house was filled with smoke. What is smoke? Carbon dioxide. I ran over and hugged her. For all those times, I even argued with her and hated her vanished at the thought of losing her. 5 hours later, the fire was finally out. 5 hours later, the fire was finally out. Our house was almost completely burned down. But then it struck me, I hadn't seen my cat. Where was my cat? Much to my horror, I realized that she was nowhere to be found. Then all at once it hit me. The new school, the fire, my cat. I broke down in tears and cried and cried. I was suffering loss big time. First loss, he was trying to overcome loss of friends and new school, everything, and then suddenly this happened. The firemen wouldn't let us go back into the house that night. It was still too dangerous. Dead or alive, I couldn't imagine living without knowing about my cat. Dead or alive, the cat is whether dead or alive, but he cannot live with that mystery. He wants to know what happened to the cat. Regardless, I had to go. We piled into the car with just the clothes on our backs and a few of the firemen's blankets and made our way to my grandparents' house to spend the night. The next day, Monday, I went to school. When the fire broke out, I was still wearing the dress I had worn to church that morning. It was Sunday, I guess. But I had no shoes. I had kicked them off when I was doing my homework. They became yet another casualty of the fire. The shoes were also burned. Pay attention. What you're watching, you have your mobile? No, keep it inside.
I don't have it in my hands.
Okay, you don't have it in your back with the ticket. So look here. If you want to look here, you. So I had to borrow some tennis shoes from my aunt. Why couldn't just stay home from school? My mother wouldn't hear of it, but I was totally embarrassed by everything. Why couldn't I just stay home from school? He was thinking to himself, कि मैं घर क्यों नहीं रह सकती? But mom said no, school जाना है. My mother wouldn't hear of it. But I was totally embarrassed by everything because he did not have proper shoe, proper bag, proper dress, nothing. So he was embarrassed. The clothes I was wearing looked weird because he wore them in the church. I had no books or homework and my backpack was gone. I had my life in that backpack. The more I tried to fit in, the worse it got. Was I destined to be an outcast and a geek all my life? That's what it felt like. I did not want to grow up, change, or have to handle life if it was going to be this way. I just wanted to curl up and die. Future developed as per a predestined plan. As if his future is will never shine. It's written in that this boy's future is doomed. As if like that, outcast, a person rejected by society. An unfashionable or socially inept person. I am a geek. I'm not a socially acceptable person. I'm different from others, and that's embarrassing. Fit well in the society. Zan was so upset that he wished to die. I walked around school like a zombie. This is a zombie. Everything felt surreal. Surreal is unreal. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. All the security I had known from my old school, my friends, my house, and my cat had all been ripped away. So all the security, what is emotional security? If you feel sad, you have a friend with whom you can discuss. He did not. So everything was taken away from him. Old friends, house, back books, everything was taken away from him. Everything felt surreal, unreal, as if he's a dead person. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen. All the security I had known, security will secure place. My house is a secure place. You are from here, you will go to a much secure place, that's your home. That's gone. School friends gone, old school's gone, my cat gone. So he's feeling like a zombie. कुछ भी नहीं है उसके पास. Zombie को देखा? कुछ भी नहीं है. Walking like this. Dull and apathetic person. Unreal, strange, bizarre, torn apart, ripped away. My house and my cat had all been ripped away, taken away from him. When I walked through what used to be my house after school that day, I was shocked to see how much damage there was. Whatever hadn't burned was destroyed by the water and chemicals they had used to put out the fire. The only material things not destroyed were the photo albums, documents, and some other personal items that my mother had managed to heroically rescue. But my cat was gone and my heart ached for her. So घर के अंदर जो भी था, everything was gone. What was left? Only the things that his mother heroically went inside and saved. That's the photo and the letters and things, photo clip, etc. That week, the rubble that used to be our house was being cleared off the lot. Even though we had rented an apartment nearby grandparents' place, I would go over to watch them clear away debris, hoping that my cat was somewhere to be found, maybe the dead body, but somewhere. He wanted to know what happened to the cat. She was gone. I kept thinking about her as that vulnerable little kitten. Vulnerable, why? Because he's not a human, he's small, a kitten. Who will save? No, there's no one to save her. So she's gone. In the early morning, when I would disturb her and get out of bed, she would tag along after me, climb up my robe, and crawl into my pocket to fall asleep. I was missing her terribly. It's a kitten. It always seems that bad news spreads quickly, and in my case, it was no different. Everyone in high school, including the teachers, was aware of my plight. I was embarrassed as if somehow I was responsible. What a way to start off at new school. This was not the kind of attention I was looking for. They were looking at him with sympathy. They did not want sympathy. Sympathy किसको नहीं चाहिए ना? So he said, Zan thought that bad news spread faster than everyone, including all the teachers knew about his sad story. Zan felt embarrassed as if he was guilty for all that had happened. He felt guilty. He really hua hai. I'm bad for my family. My fate is wrong. He was getting attention for all the wrong reasons. But do you think that he was getting attention for all the wrong reason? Reason was wrong. The people who were giving him attention, they had a wrong intention. They wanted to embarrass him. They were really empathetic and sympathetic about the situation, about his situation. The next day at school, the people were acting even more strange than usual. I was getting ready for gym class at my locker. People were miling around me, asking me to hurry up. I thought it strange. But in the light of the past few weeks, nothing would surprise me. It almost seemed that they were trying to shove me into the gym. Then I saw why. There was a big table set up with all kinds of stuff on it just for me. They had taken up a collection and bought me school supplies, notebooks, all kinds of different clothes, jeans, tops, sweatshirts. It was like Christmas. I was overcome by emotion. People who had never spoken to me before were coming up to me to introduce themselves. Before, he misjudged them. Now he's feeling guilty because he misjudged them. I got all kinds of invitations to their houses. Their genuine outpouring of concern really touched me. In that instant, I finally breathed a sigh of relief and thought the first time that things were going to be okay. I made friends that day. So that day he made friends. So done. It's over. So explanation देखो, the next day at school was unusual. Zan was changing for the gym class when students gathered around him and asked him to hurry. Why they asked him to hurry? Because they had surprises for him. जल्दी करो जल्दी करो जल्दी करो जल्दी करो जैसे बर्थडे में हम सरप्राइज रखते हैं बोलते हैं ना जल्दी वो रूम में जाओ जल्दी वो रूम में जाओ वैसे. So he thought in a different way. Zan was accustomed to strange happenings and so accustomed to strange happenings. What are the strange happenings he was accustomed to? His cat was lost, home was burned. In a new school, he did not make friends. So he thought all मेरा नसीब ही खराब है ऐसा. So he taken it for granted. And so did not react much. The students pushed him into the jeep and he realized the reason when he reached. उसके पहले उसने लगा कि मेरा नसीब ही तो खराब है ये भी हम लोगों को पुश करेगा ये करेगा वो करेगा so I have accepted my bad luck. Then he realized why they were doing that. Zen got emotional. He made new friends. They invited him to their houses. He was moved by their concern for him. He felt relieved because it was for the first time that he felt something good was happening to him. He made new friends that time. Since he joined new school, he was never at peace. He was not happy. And with that, what happened? House was burned. For the first time in many days, he was feeling happy because he made new friends. Oh yeah. Now he will find the cat. A month later, I was at my house watching them rebuild it. But this time it was different. I wasn't alone. I was with two of my new friends from school. It took a fire for me to stop focusing on my feelings of insecurity and open up to all the wonderful people around me. The fire actually helped him to get new friends. Now, so that's why now I was sitting there watching my house being rebuilt when I realized my life was doing the same thing. After a month, doing the same thing, he was doing the same thing. He was watching the
house rebuilt. But before he made friends, he was watching alone. Now he had two friends to share his sadness with. After a month, Zen visited his house as it was being rebuilt. He had two friends with him. Before, when he went to see the rubble, he was alone. There was no one to share the sadness with. The incident transformed him. He came out of the negativity. He had a negative feeling. So it's a negativity. And made a new friends. He realized that just like his house was being rebuilt, similarly his life was also being rebuilt, just like the house. When we sat there on the curb planning my new bedroom, I heard someone walk up to me from behind and say, "Does this belong to you?" When I turned around to see who it was, I could not believe my eyes. A woman was standing there holding my cat. I leaped up and grabbed her out of the woman's arms. I held her close to me and cried into that beautiful orange fur. She purred happily. My friends were hugging me, hugging the cat, and jumping around. So, what is the what is why this chapter is introduced in 9 cities? To tell you what? That you should always have a positive approach towards life. If you have a negative approach, anything that is happening, you will see it negative. If you have a positive approach, whatever is happening, you will see positivity in it. The moment he started seeing positivity, see everything is happy, everything is positive. Pessimist. Yes, optimistic. Optimistic.
Pessimistic is like
Negative. Optimistic. So the moment he accepted what happened and saw the positive side of life, everything is happening positive. Apparently, my cat had been so freaked by the fire that she ran over a mile away, ran far away. Her collar had our phone number on it, but her phones had been destroyed and disconnected. This wonderful woman took her in and worked hard to find out whose cat it was. Somehow she knew this cat was loved and sorely missed. Somehow she understood that the owner of the cat loved the cat very much, might be missing the cat. So she was trying hard to give the cat back to the rightful owner. As I sat there with my friends and my cat curled up in my lap, all the overwhelming feelings of loss and tragedy seemed to diminish. Everything gone. Now started feeling positive. I felt gratitude for my life. जो उसके पास नहीं था, Thanksgiving नहीं था. My new friends, the kindness of a stranger, and the loud purr of my beloved cat. My cat was back, and so was I. My cat was back, and so was I in my original self, positive self. Negativity gone from my life. What does the author notice? Okay. So when Zan sat with his cat and his friends, the sadness disappeared. He was happy and thankful for getting a new life, which got him new friends, a kind woman who returned his cat and his pet cat. He got a new life. As in, like the new house, he got a new life. You want 5 minutes break? You want or you will continue? We finish this and then let's see. Today it's your class. Next up, you will tell me if you want something. I mean, if you
কেউ এসছে? আজকে দিনটা ভাবতে দরকার। শনিবার দিনটাও হতে চলে, লম্বারও তো আসলে। ঠিক আছে, চল রাখছি। Okay. ঠিক আছে, আমি ক্লাস নিচ্ছি, চলো বাই। Oh, I did not share that.
Yes, this one.
Okay. No one watches. Abhi share them. Okay, now question answer. Look at the question. This is important. What does the author notice one Sunday morning afternoon? You know. What is his mother's reaction? What does she? The author, while doing his homework, noticed. So while doing his homework, the author noticed one Sunday afternoon. They have not started like that. While doing his homework, noticed the smoke pouring in through the seams of the ceiling. The room was filled with the smoke very quickly. The author and his mother ran outside to save their life. His mother ran out of the house with a small metal box full of important documents. She became so crazy that she dashed back to the house just after dropping the box. So she went twice. So we have to mention that. Why is the author deeply embarrassed the next day in school? Which words show his fear and insecurity? The author was full of remorse as he was left with nothing. He did not have proper dress and study material. He had no backpack. He had the feeling of insecurity. All these appeared strange to him. He was shocked deeply and seemed frustrated. The words uttered by him, was I destined to be an outcast and a geek all my life? I did not want to grow up, change, or have to handle life. If it was going to be this way, I just wanted to curl up and die, reveal his fear and insecurity. So to write an answer like this, what you have to do? You take 3-4 minutes again. And in the meantime, if you want to see this book? No. Okay. Okay. What? Okay. So it take 2-3 minutes. Right? You are feeling bored because Anand is not there. What happened?
My eyes are spot.
Well, okay, take 5 minutes break. Then. For a rest, then